Welcome back to day 2 of my Seoul trip. If you haven't watched part 1, pause here and go watch that and then come back. Today's itinerary was supposed to be a chill day, coffee, shopping, photography, food, and a sunset hike, but little did I know what would happen to me later that day. I'll tell that story later in this video, so let's start with some coffee. Another day, another coffee shop. This time at Komfortabel. I love the name. You'll see why I went here later. Super chill place, beautifully decorated, and the coffee is always super good. It's just a solid choice. Today's first mission is to go to Stussy. It's finally open in Seoul after being closed for a couple of years, I think. I've been to a few Stussys in different locations around the world, but this is probably my favorite location I've been to yet. After waiting over an hour in the hot sun, I finally got to experience it. I got this cool trucker hat and a t-shirt, which I'll show you in my haul video coming next week. After that, it was time to get some gifts for my wife. My very first trip to Seoul, I stumbled into this really nice boutique perfume shop called Granhand. It makes for the perfect gift for your significant other. The store is so thoughtfully laid out and the staff were super friendly and helpful and helped me pick out the perfect perfume. They can even add a custom stamp to the bottle, which is a super nice touch. They have a lot of different products like essential oils, diffusers, colognes. A pro tip is if you go to their coffee shop, Komfortabel, that's why I was there this morning, you can get a 10% discount. After some shopping and roaming around, it's time to eat. After so much Korean food, I needed something a little simpler, but a slept-on thing about Korea is their burgers are actually super good. I went to this place called Downtowner, which is nothing fancy, but super solid, and I loved it. After I fueled up, it was time to make my way to Seoul Forest. I somehow have never been here before, even after a couple of visits, so I really wanted to make some time to wander through it. It was definitely worth the journey because it's a beautiful urban large park, really peaceful and a beautiful escape from very busy Seoul. I was really enjoying all the greenery and the ponds and even the cats. Big item I had for this day besides shopping was to do a sunset hike that was recommended to me by a friend who used to do this when he was in the military, and then grab dinner nearby. So let's head to the hotel, get ready, and go. If you hear any drumming, there's a cultural event going down where they're doing a bunch of dancing. It looks super cool. I ran back to the hotel room just before golden hour because I'm gonna go on a hike. And I finished up a roll of film, but I needed to run back and get some Cine-Still. I'm going to shoot this at sunset and get some night shots, and I'm very excited about that, so we'll see what we get. It's been a fun day. I've already done like 13,000 steps. Got one more chance to take some night shots, so I'm looking forward to it. And then tomorrow, I have to fly back home, but I still got like more than half of a day left to run around. So let's go on a hike. So I have to pause there and tell you a story of what happened when I got to the top of that mountain. As you could see, the sun pretty much had set and the views were amazing. By the time I was done taking pictures there, I mean, it was beautiful. There were a couple other people out there taking photos. Because I got there just after them, they had already left. So it's just me. I got back to a parking lot that was just below the steps to get to the very top. And it's along a main road. And then there's also the trail that I had just gone up along the road, but like offset into the mountain. There were a lot of signs everywhere saying the trail's closed after a certain hour, and it was well past that hour, and there were no lights on the trail at all. So I was trying to figure out, how do I get back to the bottom of the mountain? After the hike, I was going to go down to the bottom of the mountain where the trail started to a restaurant that my friend had recommended me to go to. Technically, it was only a 3-minute drive on this kind of fast road. On the trail, it took me like 20 something minutes, and again, it was pitch black, security cameras everywhere. I didn't want to get in trouble, so I was trying to figure out how the heck to get down. There was no way I could walk along this really fast road. There was not even a shoulder on the side of the road, and everyone was driving super fast. So I decided to request a taxi from that parking lot, but none were picking up, and I had waited like 20 or something minutes, and again, it's like pitch black, and there's no one around, and I didn't really know what to do. So a car finally pulled into that parking lot that I was waiting at. A nice man and what appeared to be his mom got out of the car. It looked like they were gonna go a walk or something. So I went over to ask, like, how do I get down to the bottom? And of course they didn't speak English. So I got out my Google Translate app, and then he got out his Korean equivalent Translate. And so we were just communicating through our phones. It was very nice. He's like, oh, I'll just take you. And so I was like, yes, thank you so much. So I got in his car, we started inching out of the parking lot, and mind you, it's a 3-minute drive to the restaurant down the bottom of the hill. Then he asked to see where I wanted to get dropped off again, and I showed him the place, and he told me, this is not a good restaurant, I'll take you somewhere better. And I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I didn't really have any options, I didn't feel like I had any. So, and I'm in a stranger's car. He started driving, but instead of going left, again, down the mountain, 3 minutes to the restaurant, he turned right, and we started going up the mountain. And at that point, I knew I probably had messed up right there. So we started driving, and I had my map open on my phone to see where the heck are we going. We pulled over at what looked like a really beautiful, like, lit up house. There were a lot of people there, and I thought this was the restaurant that he was taking me to. We were using our Translate apps to communicate, and I asked, oh, is this the restaurant? And he said, no, but I wanted to show you this place. And I was like, okay. And so we started wandering around this place. He was walking like 10 feet in front of me, and then his elderly mom was like 10 feet behind us, kind of like stumbling along, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And I kept telling him through the app, like, oh, it's okay, like, I can get a taxi from here, no problem, thanks for bringing me here. And he was like, no, I insist, I'll take you. So I was like, okay. So we walked around this place, and it ended up being like a very like beautiful and well-known place on the mountain. It felt like an hour, but it was probably maybe like 10 minutes. I just was nervous and with a stranger who doesn't speak English and not sure really what's going on. While we were there, he insisted that he take photos of me around because, you know, he knew I was a tourist. So he took some photos of me. Here's me very sweaty and nervously standing right there. And then I asked him to take a selfie because I just had to prove like this was a real story, that I didn't just make this up. So we finally got back in the car, started driving again. I insisted that I could take a taxi, and he's like, no, I got you. We pulled over to a building, which I assumed was the restaurant. So we got out there, and I was letting him know, you know, thank you for taking me here. I'll go eat dinner and then get a taxi, and you guys can go on your way. And he insisted on going in the restaurant with me. So he got a table. It was me sitting across from him and his mom. So they're both staring at me, and they helped me order food. So we got mandu and then galbi soup, and it was a lot of food, and it was so good. But, you know, I was, again, nervous, not really sure what was going on. I was super hungry, so I ate as much as I could. But even then, his mom kept being like, eat more, because I didn't finish like all of it. It was lot of food though. Over the table, kind of getting to know each other a little bit more, and through that conversation you realized that I knew how to get around Seoul. I knew how to take the metro, and I was staying in Myeongdong. We had dinner, and I insisted on paying, and he wouldn't let me, which was very nice of him. I'm feeling more relaxed. I kind of just am letting things happen at this point, not trying to get out of it, knowing that I'm probably gonna get out of this situation very soon. So he drove me to the bottom of the mountain, pulled over to where the metro station is, And then he gave me his business card, which is very nice, and was telling me it was so nice to meet you. We had a great time. Hope you come back soon. Oh my, I was very relieved. It was a lot. What a crazy experience. But I really was blown away by just how nice he was. Once I looked at his business card, traditional Korean doctor, everything made sense from there. I had a lot of adrenaline going, and there's still one more spot that I wanted to go to, so I took the metro and did another short hike. I finally found the correct trail to go up. There were actually quite a few people hiking as well, which is something that I really like about Korea. There's just people doing stuff at all hours, all the time. It was beautiful as I had envisioned, and I was trying to figure out the best way to take some shots. I still had a couple frames left of Cinestill that I had saved for this spot, so I took those. They didn't really turn out that great, but I took some with my Leica and my phone, and thankfully these were really nice. I ended up getting some pretty nasty bug bites up here, I think, but it was totally worth it. What a great way to end the night. But I still had to journey back to my hotel room, so let's do that. Thanks for watching my video, friends. It means so much that you're here. The finale of my trip is coming next video, so please subscribe to see it. Thanks!